Yo, what's up? It's George Biv, and yo, you guys were saying, hey, drop part 2 with some new IEMs. We got a new contender. Now, would you consider yourself an audiophile?
I'd say I'm just getting into it. So like, if you asked me that a year ago, I'd say no way. But these days, I think, especially with your help, like, yeah, I'm definitely a lot more than I was before. It looks a little bit 3D printed.
So would you say like the 3D print, it kind of makes it seem a bit more cheaper, or?
Nah, I'd say, it's a nice texture. It makes it feel a bit more like intricate, but the cord itself feels a little cheap. It feels just pretty basic. And then other than the design on the outside, the rest of it looks pretty basic and pretty bland, but I don't know, we'll see how they sound.
Turn and I go. Only thing I control is how I let go. I swear the pain is all growth. The songs that I wrote, oh, you reap what you sow. You waited, but I never came back. You waited, but I never came back. I say you're so unbelievable, but actually I believed you.
I like that. It's really crisp.
So how was that?
That was really crisp, eh? Like, the guitar, I felt like, the reverb was like turned up to the max on the guitar, so I could hear like everything, and it sounded really good. With the vocals, like, yeah, the surround sound was great.
How was the bass?
The bass came in really strong. It was stronger than I thought it was for something this small, but the bass was actually really heavy.
Did you find that you're able to pinpoint like where like sounds are coming from?
Oh yeah, 100%. I felt like the guitar was like around me, in front of me, and then it sounded like the bass was behind me, if that makes sense. I don't even know how to say it. It was so clear. It was like really, really crisp in my ears, like it was right there. I was able to vibe and enjoy, but I think the guitar, it was a little overpowering, I'd say, compared to everything else. But nah, the bass was clean. It came in nicely. It was real deep. But nah, the guitar was like really emphasized. Ooh. Whoa.
And so we pray. I pray that I don't give up. I pray that I do my best. Pray that I can lift up. Pray my brother is blessed. Praying for enough. Pray Virgilia wins. Pray I judge nobody and forgive me my sins.
The orchestra sounded like live. Like, it sounded like I was there, you know what I mean? Like the voice as well, like the vocals, sorry. I don't know how to explain it, but it sounded like it was in my own head. It was nice though, because like everything felt separated. So like the vocals sounded like the closest to me. Mm-hmm. The orchestra sounded like it was a bit further away, but then like, yeah, nothing really clashed, if that makes sense. Like, I could hear everything individually. The bass was nice. The bass, like, for me, if I was one of those guys that liked the bass to be boosted with everything, or I was into like rap or whatever with like 808s, it wasn't the strongest bass, but it was nice and clean. The one thing I didn't like as much was, I think it's a snare. The snare sounded like way too overpowering. Like it was like someone slapping me in the face. Physically looking at the design, I would estimate this product to be around the 200 mark. After hearing the quality, I would say around 350 to 400.
Are you saying that the looks don't seem to match the sound?
Yeah.
So what will be your final answer?
I'm gonna say 360.
These are actually 700.
Wow.
Wow.
I like this one better. Looking at the cable, I like purple. Purple's a nice color. At first I thought it looked really, really cheap though, just like the way it's made, but actually touching it reminds me of loom bands. You remember those things? Pretty sturdy, and yeah, it's real light as well.
Based off the looks, is it leaning expensive, or you're saying it's quite cheap.
No, I'd say leaning more towards expensive. See, it's a little bit more like metal, but no, that looks really nice. Looks like marble kind of thing. Yeah, I definitely prefer the look of this one.
You said you're scared I got hurt, but I see you wearing my shirt.
Oh wow.
Never be reversed. So where did I go? You waited, but I never came back. I never came back. You waited, but I never came back. You waited, but I never came back. You waited, but I never came.
Wow. Yeah. No, I noticed the difference straight away. That's big. Wow. Yeah, I love these. They're really nice. One thing I did notice was, well, two things I noticed actually. The vocals were a little bit more emphasized in this one. Yeah, they sounded really clean. Everything sounded clean. Nothing clashed. But one thing I noticed that was different than the other ones, the guitar. So when he strummed down, it was in my left ear, and when he strummed up straight away, it was in my right ear, which was crazy. So just like I was bouncing back and forth, but it sounded really cool. And no, it felt really good. Like the way that they just sat in my ear as well. I don't know, it made it a little bit more noise cancelling and kind of just, yeah, helped with the surround sound, I guess.
So how would you rate the bass? Would you say it's as good as the first one, or would you say it's...
Compared to the first one, I'd say that the first one sounded a little bit louder, but this one, it's just me, it's my preference. I'm not too big into a loud and heavy bass, so I did prefer this, but yeah, I'd say the first bass was a little bit more loud.
Pull through, pray as I take it, unto others I do. Praying on your love, we pray with every breath. Though I'm in the valley of the shadow of death, and so we pray for someone to come and show me the way. And so we pray for some shelter and some records to play. And so we pray we'll be singing by right, yeah. Pray that we make it to the end of the day. And so we pray.
For that one, like, nothing was too overpowering, but it's not like nothing stood out. Like, I could hear everything individually still. No, I'd say it was pretty well balanced, and like I mentioned before, that song, the last one, the snare was a bit too heavy, but I think it's a snare. The snare sounded like way too overpowering. This one, yeah, it seemed a little bit more, it was a little bit more calm, but it was nice. It was, really well-rounded, and I could pinpoint the direction of every instrument. But now the bass sounded separate, it sounded super clean, and yeah, I really like these ones.
Based on the looks, the cable, the sound presentation, it seems like they love these the most. What price would you put them at?
Okay, well, since the last ones was $700, and these ones feel a little bit more expensive, I'm gonna say these ones are $850.
These are $50.
What?
Yeah,
that's dry.
Yeah, these are $50.
These are $50.
Yeah, $50.
What? That's crazy. Okay, well, clearly I know nothing, but that's mad. Okay, well, if you're watching this, I recommend go and get these, but that's just me. For what I heard in these, I recommend if you're getting into, starting to be an audiophile, or, you're just looking for some great quality headphones for a pretty cheap price, I'd 100% recommend these ones. Wow. I mean, they look more similar to the last one, the purple ones. They look a little bit more intricate than the other ones, and they're a little bit more, they look a little bit more high-tech than the other ones, but very similar. The chord feels the exact same. No, it looks very similar to the last ones, but I like this. I like the design.
And the faceplate is quite nice.
Very nice, very nice.
Feels like you're holding a piece of jewelry.
Yeah, literally. It signed off in gold. Yeah, and it looks real good. Yeah, nice. Yeah, those ones are good. That was probably the best bass I heard out of the three. It was the best bass. And then also the debatable, but the vocals as well. Like I said, the bass was probably, would I say it's the heaviest? No, I don't know if it's the heaviest, but it just sounded the nicest. Actually, I take back what I said before. I think the bass on this one is the punchiest, well, for that song at least. But I like it though. Like, you know how I said before, I'm not big into having like a heavy bass, but that one sounded the heaviest, but like it was my favorite.
So you're saying that it sounds punchy, but it sounds clean.
Yeah. And then even like on the opposite end, everything that was, I don't know what instrument it was, like a viola or a violin, but everything that was like way up top, way up high, they were more emphasized. So it was nice to hear kind of the contrast between the two, where like they were both popping out a lot more.
So are you thinking it's expensive? I'm assuming you're thinking expensive, or are you thinking it's cheap? Because sometimes looks can be deceiving.
Yeah. I mean, they look very similar in quality to the $50 ones.
Interesting.
Other than the faceplate, like, the cord feels the same. I guess the whole body of it, or whatever you call it, feels exactly the same. It's the same shape, but the faceplate a lot nicer. I mean, it's literally got gold on it. Looks like a marble kind of vibe. So no, I'd say it's a little bit more expensive, especially because you said special edition. I'd say these ones, I'm gonna say they're cheaper than the first, but because they sound the best, as you said, I'm gonna say these ones are $350.
Are you sure?
Okay, fine. We'll say $4.
Oh yeah, but the price of these is $800.
Wow. Okay.
And also, you gotta factor in that this is made out of metal.
They feel cheaper, but yeah, I'd say these ones are probably on the lower end. I feel like the treble and everything higher was like more emphasized. And
Would you say that the clarity is a bit too much, or are you saying that it's...
no, I'd say the clarity was a little bit too much. Like, it was really clear and crisp, but I think it felt overdone. Yeah, everything that like was on beat, with like a snare, like I said earlier, or like even some of the words, it was like really crisp, where it's like, oh man, it's like, when like a high-pitched dog barks and it like makes you want to blink. It depends. I feel like it depends on what you're listening to. I think if you're listening to more acoustic stuff, or things that are heavier on the treble and you want to listen to all the individual instruments or elements, I think, yeah, these ones are good. But if you're trying to have something that has, bass or anything a little bit lower or even in the mid-range, I think they would get overpowered by everything on the higher end.
I'm just coming in here, and yes, I'm doing the editing at the moment. And hey, I ain't gonna take the slander to my dog, Final Audio. Bro, that IEM is my favorite IEM of all time, bro. The presentation, everything is, hey, y'all can see I'm glazing. Anything that was said in this video about Final Audio, I do not condone, I do not endorse. This is his opinion, it's not mine.
It's not terrible, like, don't get me wrong. Like, it still sounds great. It's just like compared to the other ones. Yeah, in my beginner's opinion, absolute beginner. I felt like in terms of the surround sound and being able to separate all the instruments, everything did sound like it was in front of me, and it was a little bit more enclosed. Like, I couldn't hear as much of a distinction between different elements as I could with the last one. But I don't know. I don't think that's a terrible thing, because in certain songs, or however, I don't know, if everything is just like complementing each other well, I mean, who says you need to? No, I'd say these ones are more high end. I feel like they're more of like a specialist kind of earphones, where it's like,
I mean,
particular music sounds great. So yeah, I think these ones are quite high end. I'm gonna say these are $700.
These are actually $929.
Wow. Okay. So the Chue, I would say that these ones were my least favorite. I think they're the most bulky. So they felt like they're gonna fall out of my ear. My third. So these two, pretty much a tie. Very different to each other. I'm not saying they're a tie because they sound the exact same. For me, a big plus is that these are only $50. They fit really nicely in my ear. The surround sound was nice. There was nothing too overpowering. Yeah, I'm so surprised that they're only $50. This would probably be third. Nah. I'm just saying that because of the price. But genuinely, pound for pound, like, these were great. From what I heard, these are third. These ones are second. But no, they feel great. They look nice. Purple's nice, but there was nothing really to complain about. Yeah, that's why I rate them second. My number one pick,
the T Pro SE.
T Pro SE. They definitely feel the best. They feel the most expensive. They look the most expensive, in my opinion. But then the sound was like great. Like, everything sounded great. Everything was well balanced. Everything was very separate. I think the issue with the final audios was everything sounded in front of me. Everything sounded like it was pulled a little too close to each other. But no, these were really good. They were perfect for the song, and I just love everything about them, even the color. The thing that I got completely wrong was the price. The second pair though, that's what surprised me the most. The D1, So I don't get it because they didn't sound, $700 cheaper than everything else. Like, they were very on par, and like it's I don't get it. Like, whoever made these, you guys are the goat. I mean, $50. Like, start with these. That's what I'm gonna do. And then depending on how far down the rabbit hole you go, we'll see how far I go.
But yeah.
See you next time.